Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are safe and you are with someone you care about who also cares about you. Welcome to another chicken and garden update. And as you can see, I've managed to harvest some of my apples. So if you remember last week, we had some branches that had snapped. We've removed those branches, we've harvested those apples, and we've also harvested apples on the limbs that were so heavily laden that they were touching the ground. As you can see, there are still many apples on the tree, but that tree now looks a lot happier, and the same with this tree. They both were overladen, and I don't think I've had quite as massive an apple harvest before while living here. I've been very lucky that we haven't seen this kind of damage happen in the past. And I know that these trees up here are much, much older, but we can see even here, we have the same kind of problems. Heavy, heavy limbs with lots and lots of apples on them. And the apples themselves are quite small. I will probably come out in here and harvest some of these trees a little later on. But as you can also see, the wasps tend to like this tree more than the other tree. I don't know why, but we do get more wasps on this tree. We have like one massive box of apples sitting in our house right now, and there's going to be more apples to come. So lots of apple recipes, and if you are a friend of mine and you live locally, you're going to get a call asking you if you would like some. And if I don't call you asking you if you want some, just ask if you can have some. I'm sure we can give some away. The parsnips and potatoes, look at this. They're incredibly healthy and incredibly happy. This is a partnership I'm going to revisit again in the future. There doesn't seem to be any issue growing potatoes and parsnips together. It seems to keep each of the plants happy. And I have had some parsnips from here and they're doing incredibly well. They're going down a long way, which means they're going to start kind of growing out sideways now, which hopefully means we'll have some big fat parsnips as we head into the autumn. Over here, the potatoes, they're pretty much done. They're dying off. That's to be expected. Both lots of potatoes, so these ones too, they're starting to go. But you can see, normally at this time of year, I've already eaten most of my potatoes. I haven't started on my main crop yet, which is just, it's great, but it's also, I'm sure I'm going to get bored of potatoes. Maybe I won't, but everything is going really well here in the garden. The harvest of the blackberries has started. As you can see, we've got some blackberries coming on here. Only a few, but they're already much sweeter than the ones we had a couple of weeks ago. And tie that in with the raspberries and the strawberries we've been having and the apples. Our grocery bill has just been going down and down and down because it's been really wonderful to grow so much fruit and veg this year. You might notice there was a dramatic change in lighting. That's because I went from being out on the driveway where it's really, really hot to being in the shade of these gloriously tall trees here. And that helps our vegetable garden stay a lot cooler. It also helps in the greenhouse, where as you can see, some of the tomatoes are looking slightly wilty right now, even though they get watered every day by the automatic watering system. Some of them are really starting to show signs of, hey, it's really kind of hot. We still haven't got any ripe tomatoes yet, but if you look here, you will see that these tomatoes have started to change colour, and that means they're going to be red in a couple of weeks, hopefully. We've got some tomatillos growing over there, the cucumbers. I mean, check out these cucumbers. They're just looking lovely. Got one there, we've got one there. Many cucumbers growing, and we've got the peppers growing, more and more peppers. We've got some starting there. So I don't think we're going to want for peppers or tomatoes or cucumbers this year, which is lovely. Admittedly, I'm still working through some of last year's pickles. As with our blackberry jam, our apple jam and our pickles, we give them all away. but we still end up with lots that don't get given away. And I spend most of the rest of the year eating them. So as you can see, things are making great progress. I think I'm going to have some corn by the end of next week to enjoy, and hopefully also some peas. Well, we don't have any actual peas yet. You can see these peas are growing really healthily. They're grabbing onto the corn, which is exactly what I wanted them to do. They are helping enrich the soil, and that helps the pumpkins, and it also helps the corn. All of the garlic has been pulled out now. We have pulled all of our garlic out, and I have already given sizable amounts of garlic away. The onions are going to be next, so they're going to be coming out shortly. They've kind of all laid over now, which means they just need to dry and they need to cure. Then we can bring them out of the ground and start planning the next set of planting. Once we've got 2 kind of spaces open, from then it's just a case of figuring out what's going in and where I'm going to put it. Over here, the tomatoes, as I think I mentioned in our last video, I've kind of given up on trying to restrain them because they're just going wherever they want. They seem happy about it. I'm not going to give them a hard time. These are the supplemental tomatoes. We've got some zucchinis finally coming, courgettes, zucchinis, call them what you will. There's one down there and there's one there, which is good because I genuinely thought we were going to be without this year because they have taken a really long time to get going, but now they have got going, they're doing much better. I'm also contemplating cutting down this raspberry, this particular branch, because it keeps thwacking me in its pursuit of sunlight, because this corner of the garden is in shade. So they're still fruiting right now, but as soon as it stops fruiting, I think I'll be trimming that down and getting it ready for next year as it needs. Beans, meanwhile, well, again, I don't have any beans per se yet, but they're starting to produce, they're starting to bud up, if you can see here. So it won't be long before we're going to get some runner beans or pole beans in here. And again, they're climbing up the corn, and the corn doesn't seem to mind. So success. We've got zucchinis here as well. Interestingly, the corn hasn't grown as well there as it did in other parts of the garden, which, you know, that particular space must not be so great. But anyway, the amount of fruit that we are growing in the garden right now is truly amazing. I don't think we're going to need to go shopping for fruit and veg for a while. And even our sunflower, look at that, is still coming up. The chickens are doing great. Charlie is still being annoying and a boss of everybody else and bossy to everyone else. He doesn't know how to be kind anymore. And eggs are still being laid. So, look, I can't complain, right? Eggs are being laid. Still cheaper than store-bought eggs. And still fresher, even if they have feathers on them. So, I mean, I was talking to someone recently about, why I do this, or when, I do put a fair bit of my spare time and energy into growing things. And they were like, well, you could just go to the store and buy them. And I go, yeah, but that kind of defeats the object, right? If you're able to grow your own food, there's something wonderful about fresh food. It just tastes amazing. But also, being able to come and just stand here and watch things like these bees. Look, there's like 4 bees on there, and they're all having an amazing time. It's just so calming to watch bees, coming in to your sunflowers and having a lovely time. Look at the bees on there. Just like 5 bumblebees on 2 plants. And that doesn't count all the other bees that are flying around. It's just, I don't know. Something about that just makes me smile. And I know I'm not alone. So if you are someone of a similar mindset and you were really enjoying watching all the bees, there must be like 60 or 70 bees along this front border. I'm looking at my lavender right now. There's like 50 bees in the lavender, all the bees in my sunflowers. It's just wonderful. And it just fills me with joy. And also it's a very calming thing. So I know I can't be alone. So if you feel the same way, tell me in the down below what makes you so happy about looking at your garden every day. And I will be back here this time next week. But I mean, if you think I'm exaggerating, look there. Look at all those bees. So many, I just can't count them. Honeybees, bumblebees, butterflies, everything. Isn't that just amazing? Anyway, I'm going to leave the camera on the bees, and I'll see you this time next week.
Thanks for joining us today, and if you've got thoughts, make sure you leave them in our Discord chat room, on our Patreon page down below, or you can reach out to us on Mastodon or Blue Sky, or in fact, now our new website. Thanks to the list of names scrolling by on your screen right now. They are part of the massive community of supporters who make this channel possible, helping us through Patreon and YouTube, covering our bills, paying our team, and helping us to remain 100% independent. If you'd like to join them and see your name listed here, just follow the links below. We've got options available across a range of different price points from $1.50 US a month. A massive welcome to our newest supporters: Michael Anders, Tim Lynch, Kuriakos, Keith Irvin, Eric Printer, Chip Chandler, Marek Kowalski, Thornelli, Jake Alper, Howard Robertson, Dan Bow, Rex Baker, Bob F, Mark Brooks, Norman Davidson, Jean Lim, Lee Goldberg, Joseph Jarvis, John Taylor, Yaya, Kira Bell, Jim Richard, Andrew Honeycutt, Lee W. Benjamin, and Hacktor. To join the list and get your shout out, become a paid Patreon member today for your moment of fame. And you can now even gift membership to someone else. If you'd like to support us with a one-off donation, you'll find links below to make Ko-fi and Bitcoin donations. And you can also send us a check through an old-fashioned PO box. There's a link to our website with the address below. Below, you'll also find links to our Swag store, and if you are someone who has to shop on Amazon, please consider using our affiliate link so we get the commission, not Jeff Bezos. So we can continue to focus on making our content even better and reduce burnout. We are a little fresher these days with the days we release content, but we do plan on dropping new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday on this channel, plus something on Sunday over on Transport Evolved Take 2. If you want to watch more from us, the algorithm that hates us thinks you should be watching this video, but this one is one that we think you will also enjoy. Be awesome, be kind, be intentional, and don't forget to resist. Keep evolving.